Netflix has released the fourth and penultimate season of the popular sci-fi series Stranger Things. The show, created by the Duffer Brothers, is renowned for its well-balanced mishmash of diverse tones and influences. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today, we'll look at the 7 things you missed in Stranger Things Season 4. So make sure to stay until the end of the video, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell to keep updated with all our videos. Major spoilers ahead. Number 7. Alan Turing, the man who revolutionized computer science but was discriminated against because he was gay, is Will's historical hero. We never see Will give a presentation, but we get a few glimpses of the poster board he brought to school for his historic hero project. Will chose Alan Turing, a man born in 1912 who committed suicide at the age of 42. Turing was a British mathematician who has since been recognized as one of the most original and powerful brains of the 20th century, sometimes considered the progenitor of modern computing, according to the New York Times in a belated obituary for the historic figure. However, he died as a criminal, having been convicted as a homosexual under Victorian laws and compelled to undergo chemical castration. Turing is a fitting icon since not only is Will a member of a group of pals who enjoy learning about computers and technology, but Stranger Things has been heavily hinting at the potential that Will is gay. According to actor Noah Schnapp, Will is suffering a personal identity crisis a little bit in this new season, who told Insider in a recent interview. By the end of the season, he may have finally come out to his buddies. Number 6. X-Men references. Throughout the 4th season of Stranger Things, there are numerous nods to Marvel's X-Men. Millie Bobby Brown's Eleven is sometimes compared to a superhero, and her experimenting is reminiscent of various X-Men storylines, such as Chris Claremont's God Loves, Man Kills. In addition, in the 1980s, the X-Men comics were becoming increasingly popular, with several of their most popular arcs, like the aforementioned Man Kills and the Phoenix Saga, being published at the time. The Dungeons & Dragons club that Mike, Finn Wolfhard, and Dustin Gaten Matarazzo had joined in between seasons is called the Hellfire Club, a possible reference to a wicked organization of mutants in the X-Men universe. Apart from that, Dustin makes a blatant allusion to Cerebro, a telepath amplifier used by Professor Xavier to locate other mutants in the X-Men books. Dustin gives the name to an improvised computer system he built to track down and assist his friend Eddie, who has gone on the run after committing a murder he didn't do. Finally, there's the Nina Project, which is a top-secret machine that Eleven is placed within to retrieve, as well as increase her powers. It looks and functions similarly to Cerebro. Number 5. One of the answers to a clue in Brenner's crossword puzzle is Kali, which is the same name as Eleven's lost sister. Season 4 of Stranger Things begins with a flashback to 1979, when Dr. Brenner was still experimenting on children at the Hawkins National Lab. He times himself with the day's crossword problem in the newspaper before heading to work. Shiva's wife, a reference to the Hindu divinity, is one of the hints. Brenner's response is Kali, the name of a great Hindu deity. Kali is also the name of 008, Eleven's lost sister, whom she discovered when she ran away to Chicago in Season 2. Kali hasn't returned to the tale yet, because she had already departed by the time the Hawkins National Lab slaughter occurred in the timeline. She was not visible in the flashbacks. Given Kali's successful escape and this Easter egg in the 4th season's opening sequence, it seems quite likely that she will return to the fold in some way during Season 4's second part. Number 4. A Nightmare on Elm Street references. A Nightmare on Elm Street, directed by Wes Craven and released in 1984, is a great horror picture. It stars Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, the iconic knife-wielding, hat-wearing child murderer killed in a vigilante act of justice and reappeared as a dream demon murdering his killer's children. Despite being a slasher picture, Englund's devoted performance, Craven's dreamlike direction, and the stylish, gory kills enhance the film. Season 4 of Stranger Things is full of references to A Nightmare on Elm Street. Vecna, the new villain of Stranger Things 4, shares many characteristics with Krueger, including his malformed face and ability to invade his victims' minds. The villain's entire plot revolves around infiltrating teenagers' dreams and leveraging their fears and anxieties in their minds to murder them in real life. Even the bloody deaths of his victims floating in the air harken back to the first fatality in the original Nightmare, and the plot of a troublemaker being framed for the murder. The primary Easter egg, though, is the casting of England in the series by the Duffer Brothers. He portrays Victor Creel, a man accused of assassinating the villain in the 1950s. He gives a fantastic performance, albeit one that is more sympathetic than the malicious job one may expect. Number 3. Major Star Wars references. Star Wars is arguably the most well-known geek franchise globally. It was similarly unavoidable in the early half of the 1980s, notably directly after the debut of the original trilogy, and it is now with all of the Disney Plus episodes. There was a lot of supplemental material between the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, sometimes predating the extended universe, now Legends canon. This includes cartoons based on C-3PO and R2-D2, dubbed droids, for children and TV movies, and an animated series on the Ewoks. In fact, in the 3rd episode of the 4th season, viewers can see Jonathan Byers, Charlie Heaton, viewing a sample of the Ewoks animation. Dustin refers to Star Wars when he warns his Hellfire buddies not to give him the odds. And Solo maneuvers the Millennium Falcon into an asteroid field to avoid 3 TIE fighters in Star Wars. Episode V, The Empire Strikes Back. Never tell me the odds, Han says to C-3PO as he tries to inform him of his survival prospects. This isn't the first time the Duffer Brothers have inserted a Han Solo reference in their work. In an interview after the Season 3 finale, the Duffers noted that Hopper was thought to be dead, and that Hopper's tale was similar to Han Solo's path between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Han was frozen in carbonite and had to be saved by Leia, much to Hopper in Stranger Things 4, who was presumed dead and then recovered by Joyce. Number 2. Homage to Stephen King. Carrie, both the 1974 horror novel by Stephen King, an overall huge influence on the program in general, and the 1976 Brian De Palma picture starring Sissy Spacek, is one of the most overt references in Season 4. This is because Will, Noah Schnapp, and Eleven are now living in California at the start of the season, with Eleven struggling to fit in. This is the first time she's attended a public school instead of being homeschooled by Hopper David Harbour or being educated in a covert experimental lab. However, things worsen when she crosses paths with Valley Girl Queen Bee Angela, played by Elodie Grace Orkin. Angela and her group aggressively torment Eleven, now known as Jane, which, given Eleven's potential telekinetic abilities, highlights the parallels between Eleven and Carrie. When she is bullied in a roller rink, one of the bullies even pours a milkshake all over her, evoking the image of Carrie, Sissy Spacek, drenched in pig's blood. The Stranger Things plotline's climax, where she doesn't go on a telekinetic rampage, appears to be a deliberate inversion by the Duffer Brothers. There's also a scene when Eleven, as Jane, tries to use her talents to kill her bullies but cannot do so because she no longer has them. The audience also witnesses flashbacks of a slaughter she allegedly committed as a child. Number 1. Everything that has transpired with the Upside Down can now be traced back to Henry, bringing scenes from previous seasons to life. The background of H&L and how Eleven was tied to the Upside Down have been murky in previous seasons of Stranger Things. The only plausible conclusion after watching the first season was that Eleven had unintentionally seen the Demogorgon while practicing spying on individuals in the void. However, we now know that Henry Creel was the first youngster in Hawkins to demonstrate extraordinary skills. The origins of his abilities are unknown, but we know that he was forced into Brenner's care, and that Brenner attempted to recreate Henry's abilities in other children after that. Eleven defeated Henry by breaking through the fabric of space and time and banishing him to the horrible upside-down dimension after he killed everyone inside H&L. Because we now know that Henry was behind the Demogorgons, Mind Flayer, and every other supernatural creature that comes from the Upside Down, that Henry reveal retools our understanding of the whole series. Eleven vanquished the Demogorgon in Season 1 in 1983. So Henry dispatched the Mind Flayer. She did, however, defeat that demon as well. In Season 3, Henry attempted to use the Mind Flayer once more, this time creating a physical form out of dead people. We finally got a glimpse of the man behind the curtain in Season 4. Henry is scaring Hawkins for teenagers in the hopes of luring Eleven out of hiding and bringing her face to face with him once more. We'll have to wait until the last 2 episodes of Season 4 of Stranger Things to see how this epic conflict ends. On July 1st, the second installment of this new season will premiere. With that, we've come to an end. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time.